What is going on, family, family, family? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. The cave from within has finally made its return just on time to close out the month of June. As it is June the 30th, 2026. Man, it is officially halftime, y'all. We made it to halftime of 2026, and I was just thinking about this earlier. This whole day kind of felt like, from a sports perspective, because I'm a huge sports fan. I love all sports, primarily football, basketball, but I was thinking about it from a football, basketball perspective earlier. From a football standpoint, it was like no huddle, hurry up offense. If you know, you know. And from a basketball standpoint, it was kind of like getting a 2-for-1 opportunity to cash in each time. And that's kind of how today felt like for the most part. And yes, we are officially about to close out the first half of 2026. And now we're about to go into the second half of 2026. But before I get too off track, for those who are listening for the very first time, my name is Clifton Pope. I will be your guide here in the Cave Within, courtesy of Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business. This is the Cave Within, your ambient sanctuary for a balanced fusion of poetry, meditation, and stillness. And of course, for those who are regular broadcast listeners and who tune in on a regular basis, y'all already know that. And of course, tonight's broadcast is for unwinding and returning to yourself. And this is for the restless souls, the night healers, the deep feelers. And this is a live digital sanctuary for people who want to unwind at night, study or focus, sleep, reflect, feel spiritually and creatively recentered, all those type of things. And y'all are probably wondering by now, what is tonight's theme going to be? Well, for those who, of course, who are listening for the very first time, for those who are regular broadcast listeners, y'all know what's about to happen. Basically, the whole theme within the cave within, I basically has been centered around my latest poetry book that I released back in April, 2 months ago, called Infinity Chakra's Journey Within, which you can get on Amazon in paperback and ebook. And if you go to my official e-commerce store on Gumroad, Gumroad.com, you type in Infinity Chakra or my name, Clifton Pope. You could also get the audio book from my e-commerce store. That's on Gumroad.com. So overall, I basically have dedicated like a specific broadcast to each chakra. For those who are regular broadcast listeners, y'all know I did the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra. And for those who are tuning in for the very first time and would like to catch like the replay of those, if you go to my Rumble channel at CPHFWB44, which is all caps, you could check out the live replays from each of those specific themed chakra broadcasts, courtesy of my poetry book, Infinity Chakra's Journey Within. Again, I say all of that to say tonight's theme, we're going to be focusing on that third eye chakra. We're going to dive into some clarity, y'all, some inner knowing, vision, and we're going to get a little bit of some insight, of course, on the third eye chakra. Before we break all that down, let's go ahead and gather ourselves, settle in to the cave within like we always do. So if you've been overthinking or second guessing, doubting yourself, or feeling like your mind has been crowded with too much noise, I know that's definitely been the case for me in particular points within the last couple of weeks or the last time I did a live broadcast, which was a little over a week ago. Lots been going on since, so I could definitely relate to that. But regardless, if you're any of those things I just mentioned, like overthinking, you're maybe a little bit second guessing, doubting yourself, or feeling like your mind has been crowded with too much noise, you are in the right room. So, like we always do, to settle in within the cave within, ground ourselves from the crown of our head to the roots of our feet, as we, of course, Take a nice slow breath. Take a nice inhale through the nose for about 3 to 5 seconds. Hold your breath for 3 to 5 seconds and then exhale slowly for 3 to 5 seconds. And just as you inhale calm and as you exhale stress, just inhale softly and let it out softly as you exhale. As we once again inhale through our nose, again softly, holding our breath for just a few seconds and then slowly exhaling through the nose or mouth for 3 to 5 seconds as we establish the superhero of self care, the breath, as we take a nice little shot of nature's energy drink, the breath, and we let our shoulders drop. We let our shoulders drop, relax our jaws, we soften our hands, release any kind of tension we may be experiencing again from root of the roots of our feet all the way up to the crown of our head. And tonight is not about forcing answers, y'all. It's about making some room for clarity. Are you ready to make some room for clarity here within the cave within? Because that's how we're going to come in hot, and that's how we're going to do it. So, again, we're going to ground ourselves a little bit more. We're going to do a little bit of third eye breath cue here. How about if it feels good, again, you can close your eyes, soften your gaze, again, whichever one you feel comfortable with doing. And again, we're going to focus on just breathing slowly. We're going to imagine like a calm indigo light because indigo is the main color that represents the third eye chakra. So if you wear any kind of clothing with the indigo color involved, for example, you're tuning into your third eye chakra based on what you're wearing. Like, again, for example, I'm wearing baby blue right now for those who are watching live and, of course, on the replay. So I'm kind of tuned into my throat chakra, ironically enough, because I want to be open and honest in my communication, not only within myself, but also to everyone who tunes into the Cave Within broadcast. So again, we're going to breathe slowly. I want you to imagine a calm indigo light at the center of your forehead. Let's gather ourselves, take a nice inhale through the nose, holding our breath for a few seconds, and then let's exhale through the nose or mouth, whichever is more comfortable. Again, as we inhale through the nose, holding our breath for a few seconds, and then let's exhale slowly for a few seconds. We'll go ahead and rinse and repeat the pattern of our breath, allowing the breath to expand within our chest and through the belly button as we inhale through the nose, holding our breath for a few seconds, and exhaling slowly for 3 to 5 seconds. And again, we're basically focusing on letting your inner world settle just enough to listen. And as we focus on our breath, inhaling and exhaling as we currently are, let's just remind ourselves that we can trust our inner wisdom and we could see things clearly, not only from within, but within every situation and scenario that we're involved in, and at the same time, all around us. And we're most importantly guided from within and all around us. Tonight, we're going to let the pace drop a little bit. We're going to lower the noise. We're going to allow the truth to rise as it should on a regular basis. And again, we're diving into the third eye chakra, baby. So I'm gonna give you a quick little history lesson because I don't want to hold y'all too long within the cave within. I'm gonna keep things simple stupid as I blow y'all a kiss of love by keeping it simple stupid about the third eye chakra. So basically, for those who are wondering what the third eye chakra is, it's basically you can call it a mystical or spiritual concept representing intuition or enlightenment or perception beyond your ordinary sight. And like I mentioned earlier, it's located within the center of your forehead between the eyebrows. It's associated with the pineal gland within your brain. And it's the ability to look within yourself for deeper wisdom. And to really understand deeper wisdom, it's a matter of just gathering information, knowledge, and resources and putting it into practice instead of allowing it to become entertainment, if that makes any sense. Because people say that knowledge is power. Knowledge and information, if it isn't applied or utilized, this is what I'm starting to realize more than ever, at best is only entertainment. So knowledge and information is power once it becomes applied. Therefore, it becomes wisdom, and the Most High God favors wisdom overall. Because again, if you want to look at it from a spiritual or metaphysical significant standpoint of the third eye chakra, it's governing all the imagination and again the wisdom like I was talking about, and most importantly the spiritual connection from within. You can call it the mind's eye, again, referring to the pineal gland within your brain. And it's the inner eye that's used for visualization, pardon me, self awareness, and experiencing non physical realms. And it's pretty much, again, like I said, the pineal gland from a science standpoint. The third eye chakra is basically linked to the pineal gland, which is that small pea shaped endocrine gland located in the center of the brain, like I mentioned as well. And basically, for those who are wondering what the pineal gland is and what it does, it's pretty much responsible for producing melatonin, which helps regulate the human sleep cycles and circadian rhythms, sleep wake cycles, when you go to sleep at night and when you wake up the next day. um, God willing, the Most High God willing, of course, because tomorrow is not promised. Let's not forget that. Matthew 6:34. Do not worry about tomorrow because today has its own sufficient worries. Something that I've been living by lately more than ever. But going back to the third eye chakra again, keeping it simple, stupid. The third eye chakra is about intuition, perception, clarity, insight, inner wisdom, and awareness. And this is the part of us that senses there's something here I need to pay attention to, right? But a lot of us, we live so fast. I'm guilty of this too many a times within the past. I'm honest about it and I'm becoming more aware of it and I'm working on it. But again, a lot of us live so fast and we think so loud and we scroll so much and we carry so much pressure on a regular basis that we stop trusting what we already know deep down within ourselves. And let me tell you why. Because I'm going to give you a reflection question based on what I just mentioned. What truth have I been sensing but ignoring? That's the first question. Let me say that again. What truth have I been sensing but ignoring? It's a really good question. I'll give you another one. On top of that, what is my intuition trying to tell me? Just let that sink in. What is my intuition? What is my gut telling me? You know? Because we do have 3 brains, the heart brain, which is the first brain, the gut brain, the second brain, and the brain that is well known within our head being the third brain. So, little insight as I tune into my own intuition. Cheers, cheers without a doubt. Let me know how y'all are feeling in the chat. Almost forgot to mention this. If you want to continue to support the Cave Within, be sure to subscribe at Mr. Did Not Give Up 44, kicks.com/ Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. So again, going back to the reflection questions, I want these to really sink in, y'all. Again, what truth have I been sensing but ignoring, and what is my intuition trying to tell me? And I don't want you to force the answer not right now. I want this to again sink in and again just let the questions that I just mentioned sit with you. Because we're about to get into some poetry because this is the Cave Within, your balanced fusion of poetry, meditation, and stillness. Got some stillness established with some breath work, grounding ourselves, little reflection, light teaching of the third eye chakra, Now we're going to dive into our very first poem of the night called Clarity. And like always, it goes something like this. Clarity arrives in the middle of noise. It waits beneath it, beneath the panic, beneath the rush, beneath the borrowed voices that taught you to doubt what your spirit already knew. Clarity is not loud. It does not compete. It does not beg for your attention. It simply remains steady, quiet, true, and when the mind stops shaking the whole room with fear, clarity steps forward like a candle that was never gone, only hidden by too much movement. The poem called Clarity. I want to let that sink in a little bit. I want to let that settle a little bit. How y'all feeling about that? Let me know how y'all are feeling in the chat. Welcome back to the Cave Within, your balanced fusion of poetry, meditation, and stillness. The final one for the month of June as we're officially in halftime, y'all, of 2026, baby. We got 6 more months after today of 2026. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. Let's run back that first poem called Clarity one more time, y'all. As clarity rarely arrives in the middle of noise, it waits beneath it, beneath the panic, beneath the rush, beneath the borrowed voices that taught you to doubt what your spirit already knew. Clarity is not loud, it does not compete, it does not beg for your attention, it simply remains steady, quiet, and true. And when the mind stops shaking the whole room with fear, clarity steps forward like a candle that was never gone. It was only hidden by too much movement. That is the poem called Clarity. Because some of us don't need more information tonight, we need less interference. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Some of us don't need more information, we need less interference. Because what good is receiving more information if you're not going to apply it and turn the information, knowledge, and resource into wisdom to where now you know better and you shall continue to do better? Some of us don't need more information tonight. We need less interference. That way we can allow the wisdom to do what it's supposed to do. Because this is something that I've learned within the course of my life, and I'm realizing more than ever every single day when I even think about it at times. A lot of overthinking is really interference. And the reason why overthinking is interference because it creates problems that aren't meant to be there in the first place. And yeah, a lot of overthinking is interference. It's not, lack of intelligence or spirituality or effort or anything like that. It's just a whole lot of static. But when you quiet down the static, the spirit often already knows more than your panic wants to admit. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is actually a perfect segue into the second poem that I'm about to deliver to y'all this evening called Inner Knowing. Peace, love, positive vibrations, because there is a voice beneath the voice in your head, a wiser one, a slower one, a deeper one. It does not rush to prove itself. It does not speak in panic. It does not bully you into becoming. It waits for your breathing to soften. It waits for the room to clear. It waits for the body to remember that stillness is safe. And when it speaks, it does not always sound like thunder. Sometimes it sounds like peace. And that is the poem Inner Knowing. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed. Again, checking in with everybody who's listening to this live broadcast of The Cave Within. Let me know how y'all are feeling in the chat. If you're watching live, how about this? Do me a favor and put, representing the live. And if you're watching the replay on Rumble, leave in the comments representing the replay. That way we can stay locked in and we can allow this digital sanctuary of the cave within to continue to grow and expand one day at a time, one step at a time, so we can continue to come in hot. As we run back the second poem one more time before we dive into our meditation for the evening, Inner knowing. There is a voice beneath the voice in your head, a wiser one, a slower one, a deeper one. It does not rush to prove itself. It does not speak in panic. It does not bully you into becoming. It waits for your breathing to soften and waits for the room to clear. And it waits for the body to remember that stillness is safe. And when it speaks, it does not always sound like thunder. Sometimes it sounds like peace, inner knowing. Because sometimes the clearest answer doesn't feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels quiet, steady, but most importantly, strongly true. That's what it's about, baby. That is what it's about. But it's about that time, y'all. We're going to move into our meditation for all of our regular broadcast listeners. And again, for those who are listening to the Cave Within for the first time, first things first, be sure to hit that subscribe button, Mr. Did Not Give Up 44, at Mr. Did Not Give Up 44, pardon me, kicks.com/ Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. And for those who are listening for the first time again, that was the first thing I wanted you to do at this particular moment. Second of all, we're going to move now into the ambient portion of the night. And basically, what the ambient portion of the night is, this section is pretty much, again, meditation, guided stillness. And this is for if you want to study, focus, wind down, fall asleep, maybe do some journaling, reflect on the questions that I mentioned earlier, maybe get in a moment of silence, prayer, meditation, maybe a combination of both, establish some more stillness from within yourself, and just make a quiet return. So we're going to get right into that as of now, as I bring up the third eye chakra frequency here. Second, y'all, as we begin to make our transition. This is the Cave Within, your live digital sanctuary for all things poetry, meditation, and stillness. As we need to allow the soundscape of the official third eye chakra frequency, 852 hertz HC, we're going to dive into our meditation. It's about that time. As we let the soundscape settle in, as we close our eyes, we soften our gaze, let's go ahead and focus on our breath as we were doing within our grounding, as we were establishing stillness earlier. And once again, inhale through the nose, holding our breath for 3 to 5 seconds, and exhaling slowly through the nose or mouth for 3 to 5 seconds as we repeat that pattern once more, establishing that stillness within the crown of our head down to the roots of our feet, tuning into ourselves, letting go of any stress, worry, anxiety, fear, let go of all of our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and our ego, as we become the observer and the watcher of all those things. Not to ignore them, not to run away from them, but simply to acknowledge, accept, and embrace them. And remind ourselves that we are safe enough to be still, safe enough to listen, but most importantly, safe enough to trust what is true. And just remember that we are guided. Inhale through the nose, as we exhale through the nose and mouth. Again, just focusing on that calm indigo light. Visualize maybe a sphere-like ball figure around that calm indigo light. And just focus on it as much as you can. That way we can tap into our intuition and remind ourselves that we must honor and follow our intuition to where we can see things more clearly and have more insight. And if your mind wanders, most gently just come back to the sound of your breath, feeling your toes, holding your breath for a few seconds, and once more just exhaling through the nose or through the mouth. If thoughts rise, don't fight them, just notice them. If clarity comes, let it come. And if it doesn't, let the room do its work through the power of stillness. Tune into our third eye chakra and
right?
still alive into the cave within digital sanctuary for all things. Stillness, make sure to subscribe to the 44 kicks.com/Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. Soundscape of the third eye shot frequency 52 hertz. Frequency is still tuned in. And again, if your mind is wandering right now, come back to your breath as you inhale in your nose. Hold your breath for a few seconds and then soft exhale through the nose or through the mouth. And again, if your thoughts rise, don't fight them at all. Just notice them simply. Clarity comes, let it come. And if it doesn't come, that's real. The breath will still do its work. The number is stillness. As we continue to let the sound of the third eye chakra frequency hold us, we're releasing all tension and stress from the roots of our feet, all the way up to the crown, on top of our head. Not forcing it inside at all. We're just returning to the stillness and trusting. Seeing what becomes clear, the peace. As we continue to come back to our breath, as we continue to come back into the physical realm, we'll wind things down with our three biggest inhales, our three biggest exhales, as we always do to wind down every immersion guided meditation statements here within. As we inhale through the nose for 3 to 5 seconds, let's hold our breath. Slowly exhale through the nose for 3 to 5 seconds. We'll do that again. Inhale through the nose, 3 to 5 seconds. Once more, holding the breath for 3 to 5 seconds, and then exhale slowly. For 3 to 5 seconds. We'll do that one time again. Inhale through the nose, holding our breath for 3 to 5 seconds. Slowly exhale through the nose or through the mouth for 3 to 5 seconds. Take a moment to just notice how you're feeling, head to toe, maybe this tingling sensation is perfectly fine. It's the power of your oxygen and life blood. The potency life force just working within. So whenever you're ready, simply just open your eyes or come out of that softened gaze. And if you've been sitting for a while and want to gently reconnect with the body, I have a few movements you can do. Since I am your friendly ISO certified personal trainer and transformation specialist, you can do some slow body weight squats, for example. Just kind of inhale through your nose for 3 seconds and squat down like if you're getting ready to sit in a chair or sit on the toilet, for example. And then as you exhale, you'll come right back up from that squat. Just rinse and repeat the process. 3 rounds of 10 slow body weight squats, for example. You can do even something as simple as a 5-minute mindful walk within the neighborhood with no phone. Not to force anything at all, but to let the body and the mind come back to rhythm. Like I always say, train the mind and the body to follow. As we begin to come back together, let me know how you're feeling in the chat if you're watching this live. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know how you're feeling in the replay. Or just let me know what comes to mind. And again, if you've been sitting with tonight's question, what truth have I been sensing but ignoring, just let yourself be honest, even if the answer is still untold. Just a simple idea. And of course, before I forget, maybe one of the things down here in the cave within, if this kind of sacred stillness to you, if your spirit is hungry for more spaces like this, there's always plenty more places to rest within the cave within, but then called fitness about business. my Gumroad e-commerce store, and you type in things like the poetry book that I was referencing, Infinity Chakra, it is on Gumroad. With the audio book for the Infinity Chakra Journey Within Poetry book, and you can also get the audio book for my latest book, The Fitness Mirage. Both of them, of course, in audio book format on Gumroad.com, my official e-commerce store. You can go to Gumroad.com, type in Fitness Mirage or Infinity Chakra Journey Within. You can get the audio book of those books. You can also get the paperback ebook version on Amazon. And before I forget about the Gumroad e-commerce store, type my name, Clifton Pope, my official store that come up on Gumroad. And also, I have some Nighttime Sanctuary volume packs for y'all, volume 1 through 3, where it features guided meditations, poetries that you can take with you on the go, and again, just that sacred stillness that, again, you can just have in your back pocket, the information and resource that you can turn into wisdom and apply it within your daily practice and continue to go through what you go through without a doubt. And also, I am also a certified transformation specialist, the HFW Touch program is always accepting new clients on a regular basis, whether in person, because I am located in Texas, but if you're not here, I do offer multiple services for the mind, body, spirit. So if you're interested in free consultation, reach out to me personally, 361-765-4760, or you can email me at this is all lowercase at gmail.com. So we can get you that customizable program set up to where we can unlock the hidden potential for your mind, body, and spirit, where we can achieve your goals and transformation and just hit that reset button all areas within the course of your life. And again, don't forget to tune into the HFW podcast series. I just put out a couple of new episodes. I put out my episodes that I recorded with Miss Amy Prima. Definitely love that episode. And I recently just did a solo special based on real leadership, boss titles, and interdependence. So definitely go check those new episodes out. And check out all episodes of the HFW podcast series. Again, that's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, it's on Rumble. Be sure to subscribe to the show. Be sure to leave a rating and review. Share the episodes that empower and inspire you so much to someone who may need to hear it just as you did at the time. And of course, if this space helps you sit, study, breathe, or simply come back to yourself, support it by subscribing to kicks.com/Mr. You Don't Give Up 44 at Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. Your support helps me continue to come back, create soundscapes, create poetry, readings for y'all, and most importantly, just guide you through the guide. Also, stay tuned. Got new line of products coming soon. I got new projects that I'm working on. Actually, finishing the ebook right now. I'm about to get ready to release it to go into the second half of 2026 and kick off the month of July. And yeah, I just want to thank y'all for just being here inside the cave with me. I couldn't do this without y'all, to be quite honest. Please put them up with your guide of for all of the restless souls, the night healers, the deep healers. This has been Third Eye Chakra special broadcast on this Third Eye Chakra Tuesday. I just want to wish y'all a wonderful, restful hope, pray, however you can visualize and see of the situation or the scenario, and just involving your intuition. All you gotta do is just tune in and listen. Peace, love, positive vibrations. This has been the Cave Within, the live broadcast, Third Eye Chakra special. This has been your balanced fusion of poetry, meditation, and stillness, like always. Until next time, talk to you soon. Courtesy